Welcome, MacBean Scottish Fitness, and I'll be probably a few minutes before anybody joins in. So I'm going to get me some food in here real quick. Got this feeling I'm going to miss out on something from Prepper Nation, only because I think either he forgot or I don't know where to find it. I'll have to find out what's going on. So pop in the chat, say hello. I don't know why his members only would not be up here. I got the one for July 11th, but I don't see no link. Oh, well, it goes that way. So anyway, let's talk about getting back to the classics or basics. And what does that mean? So when you're looking at getting in shape, what are your basics? Your basics are running, walking, benching, deadlift, squat, any sort of leg exercise, ab exercise, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, deep knee bends. All those things are going to sit there and get your body in shape. So when you can't go up to heavy weights in that, like myself, then it's possibly time to start doing some calisthenics, start doing some walking, running, some body lift exercises, things like that to keep yourself in shape. That's usually the best way of doing it. Otherwise, you get used to being not active. And you don't want to be used to that. So sometimes you have to get creative. You know, whether you go to the gym, whether you have weights in your garage, weights in your basement, weights outside. Go for walks around the farm, you go to the pond, you go to the garden. You know, I'm always trying to move around, keep active. What's up, Putty Gap? I think I'm soon going to get hijacked by the kitty. Those are things you want to keep doing, keep yourself moving and grooving. A lot of times we get comfortable, or we can make excuses for not exercising. We can make excuses for not going to the gym. And any excuse that you make yourself is considered a good one because you came up with it. So yesterday I was kind of feeling a little down or overwhelmed or whatever. And I put it out there just to show that even the most motivated of people have their off days. And I'd like to thank everybody that gave me encouraging words in the comments afterwards. Appreciate that. It does help. Because even the motivators need to be motivated. But truly, the only motivation is going to come from within. It's going to have to be you that actually gets the motivation done. You can watch something and be motivated by it. You can listen to somebody and be motivated by what they got to say. You can read books, watch videos. But when it comes down to it, it's you getting up, moving, and going and doing what needs to be done. And sometimes you have to get creative on doing that. You have to figure, okay, how can I get around this one? How can I get this going? What's going to keep me moving? What's going to keep me occupied? And why am I doing it? So I get that question on Instagram. Why are you lifting these weights, old man? Well, because I want to still be able to do it. Is there inherent risk to doing this? Yes, evidently there is. But what don't kill you makes you stronger, as they say. So this is a live chat, so if you want to pop in the chat and say hello, that'd be great. That tends to make these things go by a little bit easier. I do watch other channels and get motivated by them. Other people in my age group, maybe a little bit younger, still going at it, still trying to stay in shape. And I think we have a misconception of what strength looks like. So when they see the bodybuilders and they're like, wow, look at those huge muscles and sculptured muscles, and well, that's strength. Well, that's one form of strength. But if you go to your power lifters, they're not going to be built that way, but they lift more weight. And if you go to your strongmen, they ain't built that way either. They lift a lot more weight. So when people say, well, you can't bench with those arms, well, first of all, bench is a chest exercise. Get educated, and I can because I just did. It's like, good morning, Ray. Now starting to move. I started coffee treatment late. Yeah, there you go in a couple hours. I heard that before. So yeah, yesterday I was like, a lot of things, just started mentally creeping up on me, and I was just saying, is this where I want to be at this point in my life? Not that I'm in a bad place, but I'm looking around, what's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 years? When do I retire? When do I make some changes? Because changes are going to have to be made. Unless something miraculous happens, we have to make some changes in our life, and you got to make a plan. So, next week we're on vacation, and then after that, I'll just be trying to work as many hours as I can to pay off that vacation. But that's okay, because you do need to take time off. You do need to go out and live and experience life. It can't just be work. So when you do have your days off, I had a job where I was working 6, maybe 7 days a week. And even when I wasn't at work, I was at work. Hey, Kelly, Rambo, how we doing? Thanks for popping in. And it wasn't until I got rid of that job and got a 5-day-a-week job that I realized just how stressed I was and how much I was missing out on. So, even though I will work 6, 7 days a week every now and then because I have goals, when I do have time off, we are going to be somewhere else. We are going to be out watching music. We're going to be out having dinner. We're going to be outside on the deck. We're going to be doing things. Hey, Ash, how we doing? Good to see you again. Mike is probably not low. It's just that I'm not on my Bluetooth. So let me go grab my Bluetooth. And I think that'll fix it. Be right back. All right, hopefully this will help the audio. I popped the Bluetooth in. So that should help. So let me know if I'm 5x5 now. So how is it now? 5x5. All right, thanks, Ray. So, you have to sit there and you gotta, or there we go. You have to sit there and say, what am I doing in life? Where do I want to be? Where's my goals? What are my distractors? So what are your distractors? Your distractors are finances. Your distractors are family. Your distractors are friends. Could be coworkers. And I don't mean it in a negative way. I just mean it in a real way. Is that they can distract you from your goal. They can sit there and have you make decisions that are going to take you away from that goal. Maybe sometimes you have to, but when it comes to your fitness and that, you have to make it a priority. So when I sit there and I block out a certain time that I would say, well, I'm going to lift. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to lift. And a lot of times you yourself can be your own distractor. Well, man, the seat's real comfortable. I haven't relaxed in a while. But I know if I don't get up and go, it's not going to be a good experience. So obviously, my injury has slowed me down quite a bit, but it's not going to stop me. And I'll get it going back up again. I had a pretty good night's sleep, so I think that helped. Like I said yesterday, I just a lot of things were weighing on me, and I figured I'd get that out there because a lot of times you'll watch these channels and go, God, the guy is always up. He's always nuts. Man, I wish I had that life. Well, he's showing you that, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we all have our bad days. The thing with that is you can't allow the bad day to become a terrible day, and you can't let the bad day become a bad week. You gotta sit there and say, okay, what was bothering me? Can I do anything about it? Well, if you can, then do something about it. If you can't, stop worrying about it. Can't do anything about it. It's just distracting you from things you could be doing for yourself. If you have a family member that is going astray, but they won't listen to you, eventually, you get disciplined in the 20s. That takes more. As I look back, and I can still remember my 20s, I was responsible. I had a job. And I was probably the one when we went to parties that kind of made sure things didn't get out of control. They used to laugh about, we used to go to this one guy's house, and when the party started getting rowdy, I would put on Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And within 10 minutes, everybody would be sit back and relaxed. Because you just can't get rowdy listening to Pink Floyd. And then after a while, they go, oh, John says we're getting out of hand. He's throwing the Pink Floyd on. And basically I was there to try to keep things from escalating. So even though I was in my 20s, I was trying to keep things escalating. Now, could I have done some less drinking? Yes. Could I have spent more time saving money by not drinking as much? Yes. Well, it is what I did. So I try to share that to my kids, saying, yes, it's great to have fun, but you want to limit it. It can't be every day, and it can't be every weekend day, because it's taken away from life. You go out and you drink, and then the next day you're just trying to recover. So there's 2 days you didn't get anything done. Sometimes it's worth doing it, but you get disciplined in the 20s by just setting goals and then making a plan to reach those goals and then sticking to the plan. This is where I want to be. This is how I'm going to get there. So I need to get up at a certain time. I need to go take a shower. I need to go this. I need to do this. And I need to sit there and get to the gym, or I need to, wherever it is. I think people were more patriotic and hardworking in your days. Well, actually, that kind of flowed back and forth. I mean, right at the tail end of Vietnam, and that patriotism was very low. Uh, you didn't get thanked for your service. Chances are you got spit on. I remember my dad telling my mom that, prepare to have bail money for him, because when he would be going to the airport to pick one of us up, if he was in two wars, World War II and the Korean War. He said if he seen somebody spit on a soldier, he probably would beat the crap out of him and get arrested. Luckily, that never happened. And then I think in the later 80s, that got into it. You got your keys? Yep. You got your keys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got your keys.
Right. Well, good luck. Stay positive.
How do I look?
You look good.
All right.
I decided to wear t-shirts underneath my stuff, but that's whatever you want to do. We're gonna have to get you some long, extra long shirts with that torso you have.
Yeah. In the Navy, all of my stuff was extra long.
Yep. All right. So your car's gonna need gas.
Okay.
Drive safe. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Let's see if I have any gas. I have $20.
Okay.
You think that would get me to Bloomington back?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. All right, John. He's going for a job interview. Wishing him luck. Well, I think in the late 80s, 90s, even 2000, patriotism was at an all-time high. So what has changed? Good question. I think social media has a huge influence on it, both positive and negatively. I think the news media has done a lot of damage. Now, that's just my opinion, and I don't care which side of the political fence you're on, but it just seems to me the media's only concern is division, is they have the left against the right, all right? People of color, we all have color against the white, even though they elect old white men. I think no, I was not that old. Nam was over the time I was 14 years old. I'm too young for Vietnam. But I had a cousin who was 10 years older than me. He was a Green Beret. He did a couple tours over there. And it left some mental scars on him. He was still a good man. But, so I think the social media and the news media does not want everybody to get along. When you look at what you see on TikTok and Twitter and what's being broadcast on the news is not a true reflection of everyday life. And I would hope people would realize that. In everyday life, we pretty much all get along. All right, you have to be really kind of a jerk. But what they show is they show that 1% 99% of the time. So you're thinking, oh my God, if you're walking down the street, you're going to get mugged. If you're here, you're going to have somebody screaming in your face. If you're going to visit this country, you're going to end up being dead. And I mean, that has really affected people that take the social media as true life, and it's not true life. True life is going into your job, is going to church, is going to the grocery store. It's mowing your grass. It's tilling your garden. It's trimming your trees. It's going to listen to a band at your favorite pub. It's taking your wife out for dinner, at your favorite restaurant. Spending time with your kids, your grandkids, spending time with friends and family. You know, that's life. What people see on the TikTok and the Twitter is hate. It basically that's all it is hate. And everybody's kind of bought into it. Yep. They don't want to put anything positive. They want to keep you. If they keep you afraid, then they can control you. Then you're more willing to sit there and obey their controllings. I mean, the Charlie 19 episode is a perfect example of that. Where people's careers were destroyed over it. Over something that, to be honest with you, was probably about as bad as the flu. We won't get any more of that because I don't want to get the reporter or whatever. But when you look at the media and that, I can only stand TikTok for about 5 minutes, and then I got to get away from it because there's just so much silliness there. And you can tell that the debate didn't go well, so now all this false information is just piling out there, and people feed into it because they don't sit there and research. They need to research. Anytime you hear anything, you need to go research it. Is this true? And you'll find out, like I said, 68% of the time it's not. And I've caught creators making that same mistake, repeating something that was not true. And either I called them out on it or somebody did, said, no, that's not true. Here's what really happened. They go, well, we've seen it on, Instagram. Well, we've seen it on TikTok. Well, okay, but that's not researching something. That's not sitting there and getting the information that you need to get. Yep, they do, but that's not what they're doing. So, at one time where I was really wanting my kids to go to college, now I'm glad that they didn't and they went in the service. I've had some people I grew up with where they're not even speaking to their children because they got so indoctrinated with that propaganda from the college that they can't see outside the box. They won't even look at facts. They won't spend the 30 seconds. I mean, it's all ages too. It's not just young. I had a cousin, she's older than me. She kept coming out with all this stuff. I said, do you ever research this? Well, I watch the news 24/7. That's not research. All right, that's being fed. I said, you need to turn the TV off. You need to go out for walks with your husband. You need to get a hobby. You need to get involved in something. You need to do something physically positive and mentally challenging. And watching the news for 14 hours a day, 7 days a week is not it. That is a quick path to a short life. That's what that is. So you need to, I don't know what that means, Alex. So you need to sit there and just live life. If you're interested in something, do some research on it. Get involved in it or whatever. You want to make the planet a better place? Clean up your yard, clean up your street. I walk down, my farm roads and I'm always picking up cans because people are so lazy they just throw them out. It's silly that you do that. You don't need to do that. You can take them home and put them in a trash can. Or next time you stop at the gas station, you can put them in there. And you say, well, they're drinking beer. Well, they probably shouldn't be, but they're doing it from the liquor store to their house. So they don't need to be tossing it out. You know, you want to sit there and help the world, then start by yourself, not by sitting there screaming, not by blocking traffic, not by sitting there and throwing paint over works of art and that. No one's going to come to your cause with that. No one. You just want attention. You just want to feel important. That's all it is. Don't tell me you're fighting for a cause. You're not. Go outside. Enjoy the weather. The sunshine's going to make you feel better. Do some exercising. It's going to make you feel better. Go fishing. Go for a hike in the woods. You got all these state parks out here that used to be full all the time. You used to go by there and the parking lot was full. The parking lot was full. And now that's not the case anymore. Why? Because people are sitting home on their TikTok, on their Twitter. And to be honest with you, it's, like I said, I take it for a few minutes just to see, kind of like a litmus test, seeing just how stupid the world is, and it never disappoints. If you're not researching this stuff independently, then they're feeding you propaganda. And if you don't question it, you've accepted the propaganda. Like I said, 99% of us live a normal life. We're not demanding things from there. We're not demanding things from this. We're not sitting there and going, well, because of this happened 200 years ago, this happened. No, we're not doing that. But the media wants you to think you're doing that. And it's unhealthy. There's nothing healthy in that scenario for you. That's why I exercise. Because when you are physically fit or striving to become physically fit, you actually, your mental wellness becomes better. So the better you feel physically, the better you'll feel mentally. The better you feel mentally, probably will encourage you to do more physical stuff. That doesn't mean you go out there and you bench huge weights or you spend 6 hours in the gym, but it means at least 30 minutes of activity 3 days a week, minimum, will improve your physical and mental outlook. That's all you need to do. People say, well, I ain't got time for it. Well, you do. You just have to make time. You just have to make the time. Do you go to the gym for that hour and a half? Or do you sit there and watch TV for an hour and a half? Or just sit there on the couch and watch the TikTok or Twitter for an hour and a half? Which is easy to do. It's designed to do it. It's instant gratification. Oh, here's a new subject. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, here's a new subject. Oh, that's exciting. But the whole time you're not doing anything. Yeah, it's pretty nice sunny day here. Hunting season's over. Hunting season's in November. I usually do pheasant. And I do deer. Now it's my garden, so I don't need a shotgun to weed around the garden. So I mean, basically, remember your physical activity will stimulate your mental well-being, and you'll enjoy life more. You're off on the weekend. I encourage you to go listen to live music. Go to festivals, go to fairs, go to things that'll get you outdoors into a nice, relaxing atmosphere, an enjoyable atmosphere, and have good food and drink. It's really that easy to have a better life. And the problem is when you're watching the medias, when you're watching the news, when you're watching TikTok, when you're watching Twitter, they're distracting you from that. All right, they're trying to sell you on something. When you go to these social media websites and stuff like that, they encourage poor behavior, and you see it. You see it when you're doing live streaming. You got people making off the wall comments. Right, it's probably been encouraged somewhere. Someone told me, "Oh, this is going to make you feel better," because even negative attention is still attention, unfortunately. I'm on a live stream because I have some interest in what the creator has to say. And if I don't like what they had to say, then I leave the live stream. It's called being an adult. So it can be. And a lot of times they put a lot of misinformation out there. I think they do it on purpose. It's an old shirt I used to wear. Said, you can't, let's see if I get this right. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. I mean, that's what the media is trying to do. They're baffling you with a bunch of BS. You know, yeah, oh, Operation this, oh, agenda this. Oh, people grow up and start living. It's really, it comes down to that. So there is, but the information is not good information. And a lot of times you understand information changes. You know, when they say follow the science, well, why, which science? 14th century science? 18th century science? 19th century science? Which science do you want me to sit there and follow? Because science is always changing. So science is not the Bible you think it is, although they want you to treat it that way. And it's not. You know, so they'll say, when they say something like that, follow science, I say, well, whose science? Hey, good morning, Shannon. How we doing? They do be. I always say it's always good to be a little selfish to yourself because no one else is going to be. So you need to do it for yourself. Be a little bit selfish, take care of yourself. Once you take care of yourself, you're able to take care of other things more efficiently. You know, but first you got to make sure the home is good. You know, there's just too much in life that's distracting us as it is to sit there and let them add more that is based on no value is not any good. So just go outside for walks. Basic thing. Start walking. You'll get a lot of that stress will get off you. You can kind of deload all that stuff on your walk. Start, looking around at what's around your area. Kind of getting familiar with your area, what sort of wildlife, what the neighbors are doing. I don't mean by peeking in their windows. Let's not do that. But just get outdoors and move around. All right, get out of the bat cave, and you'll find yourself more fulfilling for that. I'm always thinking about what can I be doing next? What's going to benefit me? Even when I'm at a point where, hey there, Chief, how we doing? Yep, walking's a great way to clear the mind. And it's good exercise. It's low impact. It's great for circulation. And it's, like I said, it's a great way to clear the mind. I got to get back into doing more of that. Just right now, I got a foot that's kind of messing with me. But thanks for popping in. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. But yeah, just get away from the negative stuff. You're going to see a lot of it. Closer to the election we get, the more of this negative your stuff you're going to see on those media sites. There you go. That's it. Right. Focus on yourself so you can help others when the time is needed. If you haven't taken care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. Yeah, it's like having a alcoholic trying to help somebody with a drinking problem. All you got is two alcoholics. Yeah, when is it a drinking problem? When it interferes with your other day life. When you miss work because of it. Or you miss a family's event because of it. Then it's a problem. Or if you said something to your significant other because of it, it's a problem. No, it's like I said, I have beer about once a week. That's it. It's usually when we're out at the pub. And it's our one day a week to unload. And that's how we live it. Now, this is water. It's in a Grosh bottle. Glass is best to keep water in, so this is filtered water. Because I got to work later on today. And I wouldn't be drinking this early anyway. Otherwise, I'd be asleep by noon. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for popping in. I'd like to thank everybody with the kind words on my video yesterday. That was helpful. I do appreciate it. And remember, get out there and just get in the gym and lift or go outside and walk. Go do some sort of activity that you're going to enjoy. That's what I want to do. I want to get out and I think I want to go for a little bit of a walk. Go check and see what's down at Mud Creek. See if there's anything interesting there or not. Yeah, Jesus approved. Yep. So everybody have a great day. And I may shoot another video later on today. We'll see what my activity looks like.